Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt, and welcome back to Far Lands or Bust. This is episode 271, and as you know, we left off the last episode in our deluxe hidey hole here, made inside of what used to be a zombie dungeon that we kind of found whilst exploring this little canyon area. There was a double chest full of saddles. I have 6 saddles. I was going to try to find a group of pigs to bestow them upon. But until we do, I believe the coast is clear, as would be indicated by my really crummy security system I have going on here. But we have to grab Wolfie. We have to break out. Whoa, Wolfie. All right. Let's wait until I guess we break this. Wait, which... Okay, I don't think it makes a difference, to be honest, in this version of the game. No, not really. There was that glitch where the fences were quite difficult to break with any tool. Yeah, we got everything we need. Yeah, all right, let's grab Wolfie. This is another reason why I don't bring Wolfie into the hidey holes, is because then I have to force him out. And he sometimes does not cooperate. Let's do that to secure the hidey hole. Let's see, that way is back to the spawn, so that's east, so this is west, so we gotta try to find our way to go this direction, and so far, that does not appear to be something that's going to be easy. Alright, careful Wolfie, let's not follow us too closely here, because we're doing a little bit of mountain climbing, and it's not exactly the safest thing for you to be doing. Alright, and we made it. And of course we are now up on a mountain. Therefore, much more not safe. Ooh, it's like end of the day already. Let's make some progress already. Wolfie, come on, let's go! In episode 271 of Far Lands or Bust, happy, hopefully, this all depends on YouTube and my internet, but happy Saturday, happy weekend. Hope your weekend is going off without a hitch. Some of you probably work, probably do other things on your weekends, but hopefully if you do have it off, careful Wolfie, you're enjoying a little brief interlude on the YouTubes and Far Lands or Bust. And I don't know, maybe in the Saturday spirit you want to donate to help a charity out, perhaps Child's Play charity. You can do so at farlandsorbust.com and donate to our cause, our fundraiser. Right now we are at $36,842.70 this season. Raised for Child's Play charity, help getting toys, books, games to kids in hospitals around the world. That's what they do at Child's Play charity. I do appreciate you guys helping out. Helps me stay motivated and continuing this walk-a-thon that we are on. And I finally, hopefully, fingers crossed, internet, YouTube processing, etc., have gotten back onto the 3 per week schedule, even though this was a little bit off kilter because of UHC and other scheduling conflicts. Far Lands or Bust, woo, back on the road again, as the song does indicate. Woof. Indeed. There were also today, I guess timestamp today, current time is Saturday, July 20th, 2013. It is the 44th anniversary of when Apollo 11 landed on the moon, and of course Neil Armstrong took the first man steps on the surface of the moon. July 20th, big day in space flight history. This was, like I said, 44 years ago, 1969. Very cool stuff about that. And also, the last couple days, I forgot to mention in the last Far Lands or Bust, but I was retweeting and tweeting about it on Twitter, as you do, you tweet on Twitter. And there was another space event happening in that the Cassini mission, which is currently orbiting, it's a science satellite about the size of a school bus, orbiting Saturn as it has been for the majority of this in the past decade. It was scheduled to take a picture of Saturn from the opposite side. There's a very famous picture already of Saturn eclipsing the sun, rather. It's backlit, it's very dramatic and cool. But in doing this, you get a little picture of the old planet Earth in the same frame. And this is kind of one of the first times we had this much advanced warning about this type of shot, and that Earth would be in the frame, and they kind of turned it into a... Oh, excuse me, Wolfie, I just pushed you back down. They turned it into a little bit of a science outreach opportunity, and they called it the Wave at Saturn campaign. So yesterday, the 19th, July 19th, at about 20... Oh, careful. It was about 20:30 GMT or UTC or something like that. They said to everybody, look up, find Saturn in your sky. It was the daytime for me here still, but Saturn was technically in the sky. Oh, here's our pigs. Our pigs who deserve some saddles. Let's saddle up these pigs. We also need some food for Wolfie, but priorities. He's doing all right. Hello, my dear pigs. I believe you would like some saddles. Would you not? The great pig saddling of July 20th. 2013. There's just 4 of them there. I think that's really the majority of how they spawn in this version of the game, is in groups of 4. Indeed, guys, and you shall receive... You shall receive... a flag for this momentous occasion. Much like planting the flag on the moon, we have planted a flag near the saddled pigs that, for whatever reason, I just felt like saddling. Woo! 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 I wonder what happens if I, like, punch the pig I'm riding? Would Wolfie kill it underneath me, or would he start attacking me, too? I am not ready to find out, actually. Excuse me, thank you. Pleasure doing business. Please enjoy those saddles for the rest of eternity, because I am not coming back this way ever. Alright, what was I saying? Oh yeah, July 20th, or 19th rather, careful Wolfie. Gosh, speaking of pigs, I should have probably killed those for food. I did not make a boat. Let's do that. So yeah, there was a specific time where Cassini was going to be taking this series, a mosaic, a panorama, so it actually takes multiple pictures and long exposures over the course of 30 minutes, so it wasn't like a specific time, smile at Saturn, and that's when your picture will be taken. There was a 30-minute swath of time where you technically could be waving at Saturn, and it would take your picture. Now, obviously, while I obviously very much agree, this is a good opportunity for awareness and science outreach. I'm sure you might be, and I am sometimes amazed how many people simply do not realize that we do have an ongoing mission, a science satellite orbiting the planet Saturn, studying it, taking all these pictures. You can go to the Cassini mission website and actually see the raw images as they're being downloaded. Like within the hour that NASA receives them, they're posted to the website. So a very good excuse for outreach, spaceflight outreach, and awareness, and it's a really cool thing, obviously, that it's taking a picture of the Earth and the cosmos, are kind of like little family portrait, I guess, of the inner planets from Saturn, some 2 billion miles away. But it's also worth noting that you're looking up and smiling at Saturn. You're not in that picture, technically. The Earth is going to show up generously as 4 or 5 pixels at most on that camera, on that image. Obviously, every human that is and has ever lived is in that picture, technically, but the photons reflecting off of, coming from the sun, reflecting off the Earth, reflecting off your body, those photons are not going to be the same photons, the very few photons of light that reach Cassini and the CCD imager on Cassini to make up that quote-unquote 4 or 5 pixels of what would be the Earth. So, sure, you can get a little bit kind of pedantic about it and look at it that way. But I think it was cool. Certainly a little bit of an explosion on Twitter, thanks to obviously a lot of the people I follow on Twitter are all space people. There were all the different people working at the NASA centers went outside of their offices and looked up and waved, and even if it was cloudy, they waved through the clouds and whatnot, and Indeed and etc. And there were people with telescopes live streaming and saying, "Oh, we're taking a picture of Saturn, and somewhere around there, Cassini is taking a picture of us." So kind of a cool thing indeed. Let's go to sleep. And wave at Saturnus. I don't know if... It has yet to be determined if there are any additional planets in the Minecraftian system. But yeah, that happened yesterday, and also today, July 20th. I'm not sure the specific times, but they're doing the same thing. I think it's just serendipitously been scheduled at the same time that... Hi, Creeper. How are you? I'm going to go this way, if you don't mind. There is also a satellite orbiting Mercury, the closest planet to the sun. Isn't that right, slab of snow? Mercury, the messenger spacecraft, studying and mapping pictures and whatnot of Mercury. It would be taking a picture of Mercury where it happened to be that Earth would also be in the background of that picture. So there's also a concurrent wave at Mercury, I guess, campaign going on. I'm not, like I said, I can't say I remember the specific times that was going to be taking place. Mercury is a little bit more difficult to wave at because it's so close to the sun. It is, if you're lucky, in the sunset, I believe. I know Venus, if you look to the west, no matter where you are on the planet Earth, right now, look to the west, just after sunset. There's a bright star above the horizon. Very bright star. Like the brightest star. Unless you're looking also at the International Space Station passing overhead, this is going to be the brightest thing in the sky. Or the moon. Obviously not counting the moon. That would be Venus, actually. Venus is the brightest star. It's now the evening star, I guess you could call it. It's so bright on the horizon. But similarly, down even closer to the sun is the moon. There are some pigs. Is the moon... Or not the moon. Mercury? Bleh. And Messenger will be taking a picture. Boop. Hey, get him. Get that pig. So cool stuff. Cool spacey space stuff going on there. I don't know. Maybe I should do... maybe not near the edge of the cliff. I should not do this. You there. You're a daredevil. Receive a saddle. Oh, don't get that. Wolfie, go back. Thank you. I like how he listened. That's great. Oh god, I didn't listen to myself. Yeah, I wonder if... Hold on, let's do an experiment. This might be a bad idea. But let's put this guy on a saddle. Let's get him in a little bit more safer area. Let's sit on him. I said let's sit on him. No, safer area. Safer area. Let's sit on him and then punch him. And see what Wolfie does. Oh, he kills! Right under my feet. That would have been better in F5 mode, but... And then, of course, in this version of the game, your saddle disappears. Come on, Wolfie. Woof. Hey, guy. Yep, you got it. Well done. Oh, my gosh, now I got too much. All right, how about you have that? And, you want more? You're full up. All right, let's keep on going. Woo! What else do I need to talk about? Oh, I do have something to address. In the comments, a lot of places I've been seeing. Kurt, you're so close to your 1,000th video on YouTube. There's a little bit of a counter if you look underneath my videos next to my name. It says 1,000 uploads or something like that, or I'm sure it's at like 995 or 996 right now with this video probably. And a lot of, people make big deals out of these milestones and things. If you've been with me for a while, you know I'm not much of a sentimental person with those sort of things. Episode, videos, milestones, aside from Child's Play charity milestones, because those actually matter. This 1,000 video milestone is going to be, is kind of one of those that is kind of like, ooh, there's a... Oh god, I'm sorry. I meant to do this. Hi. Oof. the 1,000 video milestone, I am not going to do anything special for, simply because I don't have it planned like that. I wouldn't know what to do. And more so than not, speaking of being pedantic and taking the fun out of everything, it isn't accurate. There are a handful of videos that I have removed or deleted over the years of doing YouTube. There's also ones that I've simply made unlisted or private. A lot of those, even videos I wouldn't quite call videos, because they were, say a lot of those live stream announcements that are like 30 seconds long. That counts as an upload of video. And to be honest, actually, when I look in my video manager, am I going the right way? Yeah. In my video manager, it actually tells me that I have, how many does it say? 1,015 items in my video manager. So it's not literally my 1,000th video on YouTube. Not to diminish the fact any, and I do appreciate all of you guys knowing and noticing and letting me know and stuff like that, but I don't have anything in particular planned, nor would I know what to plan. A lot of those are, even if you look back in the earliest videos on my channel, they aren't even Let's Play oriented. They're the astronomy random videos that I uploaded that nobody obviously cares to look at anymore. So I should probably just take down, just for the sake of... That's a spawner. For the sake of consistency on my channel, I suppose I might just be better off to take that down. Hey guys, on second thought, that's kind of hidden. If it's not totally available on the surface, I'm just going to ignore. Ignore your... Why are you not burning? He's in the shade. You're gonna burn now. Sucks to be you. So yeah, I mean, I considered it. I tried to think of something to do, but it just, I don't know. It isn't quite the most important thing on my docket right now. So I don't know. I don't know which video is going to be the 1,000th video. It might be one of the UHCs. It might be a Far Lands or Bust next week. I've got a few other videos coming out from other series, Grid. It might be something completely unimportant, Tomb Raider or something like that. Who knows? But yes, I do appreciate all of that. But I'm not, for all the people asking, I'm not really planning anything special for that. Indeed, that has been taken care of. Oh my gosh, so much talking. Let's answer some questions. I've got a lot of questions to answer here from donators and comments and things. I have one from Noodlemeister. Woof! I hope those are gluten-free noodles that you're a meister of. Noodlemeister asks, since you're a fan of racing simulation games, do you know about Project Cars? I do, and I kind of wish I got my hands on access a little bit early. Holy cow! This is awesome. This would make a great house. Great house. It's like your standard mountain from this side, but it happens to have a gaping hole in the middle of it. Gaping hole mountain. Oh, hi. Oh, bye. It's like 3 creepers I think I saw in there. All right, let's ignore that. Have I heard of Project Cars? For those of you who don't know, Project Cars is I guess you could say it's independently developed, although the people behind it are indeed professional. They've been associated with big studios, and they've made a few really... The Shift games, I believe. They've made a few really big-name racing games in the past. But Project Cars is like one of these ultra-realistic simulator racers. And it's currently in development in alpha, if even alpha. I don't even know if it might be pre-alpha. And it looks gorgeous. It's extremely detailed. It has a lot of different racing disciplines and cars and tracks and things. It's kind of like the Toka Race Driver 3 of the current time. So I assume it's going to be it's very enthusiast based, very much on accuracy and accurate physics and driving models. So by no means your casual arcade Grid 2 type racer. And it looks amazing. I'm very excited about it. I heard about it for a while ago, but I never bought into it, and now things have changed. The latest news is they got into a little bit of trouble with the SEC, what is it? Stock Exchange Commission or something like that, whatever the SEC is, because their model was kind of Kickstarter-y, only they did it on their own, in that you could buy a different tier. Different tiers cost different amounts, and they get you different access to different, either weekly builds or nightly builds, or access to developer forums, even the ability to go in and actually include your own items to the code and actually steer the development yourself. So what they did was they actually referred to the people who bought these things as investors. And I don't know specifically if they said that then they would also receive, once the game did go on sale, part of the profits or not. But whenever you use the word investing and investors, the government wants to make sure you're on the up and up. And they got into a little bit of an issue with that, and you'll have to wait until the morning to find out what happened to Project Cars. Dun dun dun. And we're back for the thrilling conclusion of the Project Cars story, as I remember off the top of my head after reading a few articles on the internet and not actually doing proper research before answering this question in this episode of Far Lines of Bust. Take a breath. So yeah, anyway, they said these are investors and you're part of the team and stuff like that. And like I said, the SEC got, I suppose, wind of that or whatever, and they're like, if you're actually taking investments, kind of like a, what are those things called? Not necessarily a stock exchange, but hedge funds almost is the way, for a startup to get funded. You need to be regulated and authorized as an investing firm and stuff like that. All the rules and regulations that go along with that, which are good because then it stops somebody from starting, I'm making a video game, invest all of your money into me, and then I promise you will, it stops bad things from happening. But when Project Cars, I think, used that terminology and set up their system, they didn't quite hold that into account, and they've since had to then, just I guess to avoid further inquiry and problems, they've since closed down that system, so you can no longer, people who already have access, I believe, continue to have access, but you can no longer buy one of those access tiers to get early build access to the Project Cars. You have to wait now. They've posted it on Steam Greenlight, which is obviously much more of a accepted and legitimate distribution platform. Who knows if they're going to eventually do some sort of Indiegogo or Kickstarter type campaign to raise the final funds to finish developing the game. Ah, chicken! Oh, all right. You frickin' demolition derby chicken. Out of the way, jerk ass. What is this guy's problem? I can't even hit him. The chicken hitboxes are so small, and now it's so off-center due to the float point precision, it's pretty impossible to hit chickens anymore. But anyway, long story short, yes, I have heard of Project Cars. Yes, I've seen the videos and the screenshots. They look amazing. And I guess I'm just having now, since I didn't buy in early, as I kind of wish I had, I'm going to have to wait with everybody else for access when the game is finally released. And it's definitely one of those I wish to check out eventually. So thanks for that donation and the question. Gemini96792 asked, did you ever consider training for a private pilot's license now or in the future? I considered it a lot in middle and high school. It was a very strange time in my life. I really liked airplanes and flight and things, and I was at the time also considering just joining the Air Force, but that, thankfully, to be honest, didn't come to fruition. So yes and no. It's very expensive, and I don't currently know what advantage it would be for me. You know, aside from the pure novelty of having a pilot's license and having the ability to... I don't know how it would technically work if I can't obviously afford my own airplane. I have to join some sort of club, flight lease club, where I could lease a plane at certain times and fly it around, you know. But yeah, yes and no. But I really, honestly, I don't know that that's my personality too much. All of that goes along with that. I don't know. Maybe if I get bored when I get older, maybe I'll... maybe I got a few tens of thousands of dollars laying around. Ha! I wish. Maybe I should learn how to fly an aircraft. But no, yeah. Meh. Kinda, sorta, maybe not really, is I guess the answer to that. Zap Gamer asked, have you ever lived with a roommate? If so, did your introverted self get along with them? Yes, just in college, in the dorm life, I got set up. You know, I didn't, being the introvert that I wasn't attending a school where I knew anybody or was going with anybody, so I didn't, when filling out the dorm application, I didn't have a preferred roommate name or anything like that, so I just got paired up with whoever, and my first roommate was alright. He was one of those people who really had never lived away from his parents ever before. Well, I mean, neither had I, technically, but I was obviously a little bit more independent, whereas he still had a lot of growing up to do, I'll put it that way. Like, he told me that he had to, before leaving for college, he had to get, like, lessons from his mom on how to do the laundry and how to do your own laundry, and I'm like, I do that all the time since I've been, like, 13 years old. So, you know, stuff like that. And, you know, obviously that then led him to being a little bit more on the party side and enjoying his newfound freedoms, I suppose. Although he was pretty, he's a nice guy. He kind of kept that out of the dorm room. These small little dorm rooms are no place really to hold parties or anything like that. So he was either gone doing his own thing or you know, on his computer in the room. Didn't really become friends with him. Careful, Wolfie, don't go down there. Didn't really become friends with him or too much. But then the next semester, he ended up moving out because he had friends he wanted to move in with in the dorms or apartments or something. And there was a guy living next door on my floor who was kind of a really quiet guy, and we ended up being like, instead of just getting randomly put with somebody, how about you just move next door and we can be roommates? We're like, all right, yeah, that'll work. And I had for the next couple of years as a roommate, and again, I you know, he was a lot more studious than the previous roommates, so he was, when he wasn't in the room, he was either at class or at his labs or in the library studying. You know, he was a straight A type of student, and I'm just kind of like, I'm all right with my 3.2 GPA. You know, I'm not. He ended up getting the whatever highest 4.0, 5.0 AP accelerated classes, whatever he could get. But woof. So again, my roommates, thankfully, were a little bit on the low-key side, and they allowed me to be an introvert. Indeed. Of course, in school, I spent a lot of time in the studios, in the art studios, and oh, man, being an art student up till, you know, you gotta get into the art studio before they lock the door, because then you can just stay in as long as you need and then leave, and oh boy, did you stay as long as you needed to finish that painting or sculpture or project or this or that or the other until 3 a.m. Oh, coming home smelling of oil paints and sawdust and stuff like that. Very fun times. Good times, indeed. Art students, fine art students, you know what I'm talking about. So, yeah. Those are really my only what I would call roommates. But I don't know, I don't know that properly. I always lived in the dorms. I never ended up moving off campus or anything like that, just to save money. Good and bad thing. We also had cockroaches as our roommates, which is a delightful experience indeed. Despite all of the spraying that they would do and other fun stuff they exposed us to, still had the old cockroaches. It's nice when they run out from under your keyboard at you while you're on your computer. That's great. Great times. Good nightmare-inducing times that you have there in your cleanly college dormitories. Oh, God. Oh, brother. That's great. Just fine and dandy. In addition to high school, though that's another part of my life, I'm glad it's over and I can willfully repress in my memories, only to surely one day explode in a fit of emotional and sociological breakdown and nervousness. But yeah, those are the only roommate. No really like funny stories that much that I remember, or I made other friends. I remember going to we'd eat at the cafeteria or whatever between classes together, and late at night or whatever like that for dinner, instead of we'd all be complaining about all the work we had to do, and then we all sit there, finish eating, and then we in silence kind of look at each other. Video games was kind of our nuts to everything else. Let's play some video games. One of the guys had the GameCube or whatever. We played Mario Kart, or he had an Xbox. I think we played kind of the versus Halo every once and again, although I don't think that was our favorite thing to do. So yeah, that was at best my roommate sort of quasi experience. Indeed. Let's do the old final hidey hole here. No spawner dungeon for us to find comfort in this episode. We have to do the classic 3x3 hidey hole. Let's do that. Let's boop boop boop. Let's do that as well. Make this thing full size. And once again, hope you guys are enjoying your weekends and can enjoy the rest of it. Maybe you were in the know before I mentioned it, and you were able to wave at Saturn and or Mercury past couple days and today. Woof! Woof indeed. Let's make the beds. Bup, 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 beep, beep, beep. Indeed. Bup, bup, bup. Let's plunk her down. Let's make a boat. Good thing we got rid of those saddles in our inventory. Oop, I hear suspicious footsteps above. Hopefully the next episode does not begin with a bang, but I will see you in the next episode. And I don't know, who knows? By then maybe we'll have 1,000 videos on YouTube and I can be like, woo, and then get on with our lives and look forward to another 1,000 videos on my channel. I do appreciate it. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time.